You don't start the project, you don't post the idea, you don't apply for the opportunity, and you tell yourself it's laziness. But notice something, you can scroll for hours, you can research endlessly, you can plan perfectly. So why does action feel heavy? Only when it might expose you. What if the problem isn't effort? What if it's visibility? 2. Problem deep dive. You say you want more growth, more recognition, more impact, but when the moment comes to act, you hesitate, you tweak the draft again, you wait for the right time, you promise tomorrow, and slowly, a quiet narrative forms, I'm just not disciplined. Other people are built for this. Maybe I'm not that ambitious, but something doesn't add up, because you work hard. When no one is watching, you'll clean the entire house, organize your notes, study random topics. Invisible effort feels safe, visible effort feels dangerous. When your work could be judged, when your ideas could be criticized, when your competence could be measured, that's when your energy disappears. It doesn't feel like fear, it feels like fatigue. But what kind of fatigue only appears when you might be seen? 3. Reframe. You are not lazy. Laziness is a lack of desire. You have desire. You think about the future. You imagine better versions of yourself. You feel frustrated that you're not there. That frustration is evidence of motivation. What you're experiencing is closer to avoidance. And avoidance is not a character flaw. It's a protection strategy. At some point, being seen carried risk. Maybe you were criticized publicly. Maybe you were compared. Maybe success raised expectations you couldn't maintain. Your brain learns something simple. Visibility equals evaluation. Evaluation equals threat. And threat triggers withdrawal. This isn't weakness. It's conditioning. But conditioning can be understood, and what you understand, you can retrain. 4. Psychological mechanism. Your brain has a prediction system. It constantly asks, if I do this, what will happen? When you consider publishing your work, or stepping into a bigger role, your brain simulates outcomes, not just success, also criticism, embarrassment, rejection. The amygdala, your threat detector, activates not only for physical danger, but for social evaluation. From an evolutionary perspective, being judged by the group could mean exclusion. Exclusion once meant survival risk. So your nervous system treats exposure seriously. Here's the metaphor. Imagine your brain as a security guard at a door. When you're about to act publicly, the guard asks, is this safe? If past experiences suggest risk, the guard tightens security. You feel tension, your body resists, you delay. This delay reduces anxiety in the short term. And that's important, because your brain runs on reinforcement. When you avoid posting, and your anxiety drops, your brain records that relief as a reward. Dopamine doesn't just reward achievement, it also rewards avoidance of threat. So procrastination becomes negatively reinforced. Action equals exposure equals stress. Avoidance equals relief equals safety. Over time, the pattern strengthens. This is why you can work tirelessly in private. Private effort doesn't trigger evaluation circuits. But public effort does, so the issue isn't energy, it's perceived threat, and the threat isn't failure alone, sometimes it's success, because success increases visibility. More visibility means more eyes mean more judgment, and your security guard doesn't like uncertainty. 5. Practical framework. You don't fix this by forcing discipline, you retrain the prediction system. Step 1. Shrink the exposure. What to do? Make your first action smaller and more private than your brain expects. Why it works. Gradual exposure reduces amygdala reactivity. Small, survivable visibility updates the brain's threat model. Example, instead of launching publicly, share your idea with one trusted person. Your nervous system learns that being seen doesn't equal collapse. Step 2. Separate creation from publication. What to do? Create fully offline before deciding whether to share. Why it works. This reduces performance pressure and lowers cortisol. The brain can enter a flow state when evaluation is removed. Example, write the post as if no one will read it, only later decide what to publish. This teaches your brain that creation is not automatically exposure. Step 3. Track the avoidance relief loop. What to do? After you delay something, pause and notice the relief. Name it. Why it works. Metacognition weakens automatic reinforcement. When you consciously observe the anxiety drop, you interrupt unconscious habit loops. Example, you avoid sending an email, you feel calmer, you say internally, that relief is why I delayed. Awareness breaks the invisible reward cycle. Step 4. Redefine visibility as data, not judgment. What to do? Before acting, tell yourself, this is an experiment. Why it works: framing reduces ego threat. Cognitive reappraisal shifts activity from emotional circuits to prefrontal regulation. Example, instead of this proves whether I'm talented, think, this gives me information. Information feels safer than identity evaluation. Step 5. Build tolerance, not confidence. What to do: aim to tolerate discomfort, not eliminate it. Why it works: confidence often follows exposure, not precedes it. The brain recalibrates after repeated safe experiences. Example, post even while anxious. Notice you survive. Your security guard slowly relaxes. You're not trying to silence fear. You're teaching it new evidence. 6. Integration. Think of your behavior as controlled by two systems, the comfort system and the expansion system. The comfort system values predictability. It reduces anxiety. It prefers invisibility. The expansion system seeks growth. It tolerates evaluation. Right now, your comfort system is louder, not because you lack ambition, but because your brain overestimates social risk. Every small visible action is like adjusting a dimmer switch, not flipping a light on all at once. Gradually, visibility stops feeling like exposure, and starts feeling normal. You are not lazy, you are protective, and protection makes sense, until it limits you. 7. Quiet empowering close. There is nothing wrong with your drive, there is nothing broken about your effort. Your nervous system simply learned that being seen carries danger, but learning goes both ways. Each time you act despite discomfort, you collect evidence that you can survive judgment, evidence that visibility isn't fatal. One day, you'll notice something subtle. You start before you feel ready, not because fear vanished, but because it no longer controls the door. And when that happens, you won't call yourself lazy anymore. You'll recognize what it always was: a cautious brain, trying to keep you safe. And safety is important, but so is being seen.